Hi, it's Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology, here to give the astrological forecast for Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. Well, we're using our Star Wars analogies again. Here's my shirt with Master Yoda on it, who says, "Trust me, a Jedi I am." Well, today we're going to have to prove ourselves to be a Jedi because it begins well early in the day, but then the day turns quite challenging toward the middle and in the latter part of the day. Finally, it ends well, but it's that middle portion that we need to be concerned with. Let me explain. The sun today is at 17, moving to 18 degrees of ambitious and organized and sometimes authoritarian, but always tradition-loving earth sign of Capricorn, which likes to do things just a certain way. And then the moon is moving from the latter degrees of impetuous fire sign Aries into the relatively smoother energy of steady she goes earth sign of Taurus. Now, you would think that this would be a very conducive element because of both of those are earth signs. Not quite so today because it's the journey that we have to be concerned with. Now, the first element that the moon makes, the first aspect, is a very harmonious one. Doesn't make it until midday into the afternoon when the moon makes a harmonious trine, an isolating angle, to Mercury, the planet of communication, which is moving through the latter degrees of Sagittarius. During the early part or the middle part of the day, it's at 28 degrees of Sag. So when the moon gets to 28 degrees of Aries, it makes that flowing trine. That's very good for communication and possibly even inspiration as well, because both of those are fire signs. It's a very active sort of energy, so expect the first part of the day to be quite active. 12:49 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when that's exact. 3:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8:49 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Then comes the twist when the moon, right after that, makes a hard square 90-degree angle to Mars, which you recall is now backtracked. It's retrograded back to the last degree of Cancer, 29 degrees of Cancer as we speak. And the moon gets to 29 of Aries and makes a hard 90-degree angle, and that is anger producing, quite volatile, and you just want to be a little careful. And it might even be in ourselves, but often this is an angle that can produce anger and circumstances of volatility around us, so we want to be careful. 1:16 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when that occurs. 4:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 9:16 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Then the moon does move into the earth sign of of Taurus at 2:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 10:11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So we'll find that the energy kind of smooths itself out once it gets past the hard square that the moon makes at 1 degree of Taurus to Pluto, the Lord of Power, which is at 1 degree of Aquarius and has been causing quite a lot of volatility and even violence, having been in opposition to Mars and vice versa. That occurs 4:22 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 12:22 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. In other words, anything can happen today, anything can happen, and maybe not for the best, so you want to take it very easy and watch where your own energy is going. Not only that, shortly after all of that, the Mercury, which is now at 29 degrees of Sag, makes an awkward inconjunct 150-degree adapt, adjust, accommodate angle to Mars at 29 of Cancer. 4:28 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when that's exact. 7:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 12:28 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Just another one of those energies that says it might be a little tough to communicate in a peaceful way. Finally, this evening, you get through all of that, you have a nice night. The nightcap looks good because the moon at 5 degrees of Taurus by that point makes a harmonious 60-degree angle, a sextile to Venus, planet of love and affection, which is by then at 5 degrees of Pisces. That is about as sweet and loving as it gets, so if you want a nice little night of lovingness, this is it. 11:23 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2:23 p.m. a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 7:23 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time is when that occurs. So good luck to us all today. Harmony, challenge, harmony. Let's get through all of that challenge. I'm Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology. Now, if you would like to have a personal reading with me and see what your 2025 looks like, you can book it on my website, starpresence.net. Remember, from the very moment that you're born, you've got star presence. Enjoy this day, no matter what, and may the force be with you. You knew I had to say it, didn't you?